Yeah, I mean that's literally what's happening. This like fucking maggot is just like, all right, so global stock market, oh blah blah blah, this and that. I'm like, well, what difference does it make? What difference does it fucking make? Let the virus spread. I don't get it. I don't understand. I mean, on top of that, the one thing that intrigues me the most is it's this analogy I'm trying to remember. You know, when people talk about like, oh, airline disasters versus car accidents. Car
Hmm.
accidents, I mean, they happen every day, so I mean, you're not going to report them as much. But airline accidents, oh boy, they ought to not happen because the ramifications of an airline accident, crashing and an airliner crashing, oh, that's a big one. And you know, it's scary. Oh my God, planes, even though planes are safer than cars. But then, so this fucking maggot is just like, all right, so I hope people don't understand what the hell um, a virus is, and I hope that people don't understand that flus like the influenza, which is a flu. So here's the other funny thing, just really quick. So I know people don't know what flu is. People are like, oh, well, flu, it's a flu. Well, no, it's actually called influenza, and it affects, your bronchitis and all that shit. Affects your breathing, affects your lungs, affects your immune system. So, but flu, the common cold, those things affect, uh, they affect, they affect people much more. I think it was something like the World Health Organization and CDC. I always keep track of this. They're like, okay, so about 650,000 people die from that every single year globally. In the US, about 60,000 people, but globally,
Yeah.
650,000. So here we have this bullshit virus, right? And it's like, all right, let's infect 35 countries, 85,000 people, kill only 2,500 people. Now, granted, not saying that a death is not warranted, okay? Like, it's sad. Sure, why not? Let's go with that.
Wow, you're such a psychopath. Oh my god. Wow.
But I'm just saying, like, it's fucking bullshit. Like, all right, let's just talk about how this virus is like all of a sudden so important. And then here it is. This maggot's like, all right, what is it saying? China reports first coronavirus death between December and Jan, just before Jan. All right, let's just say New Year. China markets open after Lunar New Year. Okay, fine. Shit drops. South Korea cases soar. Everything goes to shit. And then the worst part
Oh, there
is,
was for South Korea there was I can't remember what they called that lady. Like a mass spreader or something like and it was like at a church cult or something like that. One of the ladies went to a church
yeah,
meeting that they have and
yeah,
she infected like 48 people and then it just blew up exponentially. It's hilarious.
yeah. Yeah, that's
Thing is, like the only thing that's interesting about this, further than flu might be interesting, is will it mutate and what happens after it's kind of spread throughout the globe and um,
well,
like
apparently
exposed
it
to a
did.
mass scale. Because if it turns out to be one of those dank mutating viruses that's really good at it,
Here it is. Here it
then we
is.
might be fucked because
No, I'll
the
tell you. I'll tell you.
flu.
I'll tell you.
What
Look. Coronavirus. This is again two things. I'm not kidding. This thing. This you are right. It did. It did. It does mutate a lot. Coronavirus.
it does?
Yeah, it did.
Initially, it was not supposed. It's like minor mutation. It's
So
not.
so here's the thing. Before, apparently. So if this whole hoax is not true about the Chinese government actually like making the virus itself, and suppose this virus actually came out of a market, okay? Because they're
Was
like,
there
oh,
any evidence for or against it?
no evidence for or against either claims.
Yes.
Claim one being that it came out of a market. Claim two. Now, the only solid thing about claim one coming out of a market, there is some sort of a weight to that, being that a lot of the aphrodisiacs of the Far East Asian countries tend to be a little more questionable.
Well,
So
yeah, and then like armadillos are
uh,
delicacy, and
yeah,
then it's like it
exactly.
came from
You know,
armadillo.
bats,
Well,
all this shit that you hear about,
yeah,
like whatever. How true is it? I don't know. There's no people on the ground to actually be like, yes, it for sure happened. But so like essentially, they're like, okay, fine. Um, that's claim one. Claim two, the Chinese government made it. But when it first came out, suppose the first claim is true, It was only in bats. It quote unquote mutated, can now transfer to humans. Now,
Well,
it,
no, they changed they said that it's armadillo actually.
well, yeah, now it's armadillo. Well, whatever it is, it came from that into a
Hmm.
human, and then now the other thing is that it's traveling in so many other countries around the world. So if you ever played that game Plague Inc., normally you have to like actually like upgrade your virus and put
No,
your
I never
upgrade
played
one.
it, but okay.
There's this game where you can like infect the world, same thing. Everyone started like downloading it so much more. Like here, let me see.
Oh well,
Plague Inc. Coronavirus. Here it is. Okay, never mind. Plague Inc. Has been banned in China, removed from the China's China's app store. Yeah.
what
So
the fuck?
yeah. So here,
Fucking baboons,
here.
man.
Let me just baboons blät. Let me just here. So there's this. Then there's this global stock. So the thing is, the virus mutated in a way because it actually is not supposed to be able to survive in the cold. So now all viruses, so the coronavirus is, as far as I know, it's actually all it is. It's a strain of the common cold. It's actually the same thing as the cold. That's all that is. The cold is
No,
called,
no, not the cold, the flu.
well, the cold and the flu are all under the same umbrella. The cold is called the rhinovirus, but they're all these viruses are rDNAs. So it's a a nucleic acid type of infection, and a virus is actually not a living thing. All that it does,
Actually, it is.
no, I'll tell you why.
You should look up phages.
A phage is different. A virus, this is what a virus is. It's
Phage is virus.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, it
I'll,
lives in your mouth. It's nice and intelligent.
yeah.
Don't you dare call it nothing. You piece of shit.
So fucking suka bliet.
Everything is living. Who cares? Stop putting labels
Okay,
on it.
as in it's
Living, not living.
okay. Look. It's not as in
It's dank.
it doesn't really have a consciousness that we can
How
associate
do
with.
you know, huh? Hmm?
I'll just
Are you a virus? Huh?
fuck you,
Are
man.
you the diplomat of the virus?
No,
Are you
no,
an
no.
ambassador? Fuck you.
Okay, just hear me out. I'll tell you what it is. So supposedly all that viruses do, okay, is they literally go to like a living cell, and they're like, oh, hey, shit, you look like you're
Insert.
healthy. Yeah, exactly. Insert. And then like the
Yeah.
cell like spazzes from the inside, and all of a sudden they're like, and it
And then
fucking
more virus comes out.
exactly more viruses comes out,
Okay.
and there you go. So then, but
That's
here,
what we do.
yeah, yeah.
We
So
go to woman, insert, more virus comes out.
yes, um, exactly. I'll tell you this thing here. So here's how this virus developed, and we are pretty much fucked. A dog got diagnosed with coronavirus.
Hmm.
Mm.
So why is that a problem?
Well, you literally said you're like, if this thing develops and actually like starts doing other shit, then we're fucked. Here we
Yeah,
are.
but this doesn't. Yeah, but I don't think this indicates that it's doing other shit. I think that just means
Well,
that a
yeah, of
dog is
course.
susceptible to it too.
Well, look, okay, a dog is a mammal, sure, and they're like in the 90th percent of how close they are to us, but they're still not a human. They're a dog. So this thing infected a dog now. And on top of that,
But it
before
says weak positive result
fuck you.
in a
Okay,
test
let me
for
just
virus.
let's see.
Weak could be a
Oh,
flu, and they just
let's
mistake
see.
it.
Dog. I'm gonna do control find on dog. Hong Kong government places dog in quarantine. Weak positive. Okay, said the dog did not have any symptoms. Unclear whether it's infected. He added it was the pet of a patient who had the virus. Kept okay. Blah blah blah. I don't know what. UAE cancels. Blah blah blah.
I
Whatever.
like how they managed to write 3 pages of shit on a weak positive result. I'm amazed at journalists. How the fuck can you write so much? Like holy shit.
that that Lucian is called bullshitting.
Yeah, I don't know. I always got triggered. I remember
Okay,
like
look. It's to
elementary
be fair, it's
school
not three
where the English
pages.
teachers try to shove the shit down my throat, and they're like, "You must know how to read and write news article." And then I was like confused, like super confused. I came home and I asked my mom, I'm like, "What is this garbage?" And she's like, "You need to write it like this." And I'm like, "Why am I writing all this extra shit? Can't I just write point form like it was this time, it was this street, this person got murdered, it was this gun. That's it. 4 sentences.
Yeah.
And it's like, nope, news articles have to be long, right? And that's the tradition. And then people just think that that's how it's supposed to be. But the reason they're long is otherwise the news agency wouldn't make any money. So they gotta make like nice and long sentences, all this extra shit, and they never tell it in the right order either. Like when I read an article, I just want to know what, when, where, why in that order. No bullshit. No playing around with the time frame. No like giving me like people's opinions that you talk to on the street at some point.
Yeah.
None of this shit. No predictions. No prophecies. Just what you know. That's it. A report. Give me a fucking police report. That's it. But instead, it's like, oh, there is a weak virus detection. Okay, we're gonna talk about the dog's life now. How many children it's gonna have? Okay, we're gonna talk about the patient and the friends of the patient. Like, ah, God.
Sucra bled.
World
Well,
Health Organization said at present there is no evidence that companion animals such as dogs can be infected with new coronavirus. So instead of writing this huge sentence, they could have said the WHO denied this result.
well, you know.
Like you don't need to quote to me the literal fucking words
Yeah.
they use to express
But
their
here's
disagreement.
a funny thing though. This article says a pet was quarantined in Hong Kong after testing positive for a low level of novel coronavirus. So then one begs, though it was not showing symptoms, and it's unclear whether it's actually infected. So then one has actually has to analyze the sentence, right? I'll tell you.
It's
So
like yeah, it was actually black, the color, but I think there might have been white in it, but it was mostly blue,
that's exactly
you
what the
know.
sentence says. So then,
Yeah.
what do you focus on? Is it, oh, that the test showed black, or, well, yeah, it's kind of like a
Like
gray.
black sometimes looks like white if you drink enough, and that's what we did that day. So we're telling you about it.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
Oh, I
it's
like the last sentence. Wild animals have also been killed by disinfectant used to fight the coronavirus.
where
It's at
what?
the end.
Oh, wild animals. More than 100. Okay, died from poisoning in a mass die-off, seemingly triggered by. Oh wow. Okay, I like how they call it a mass die-off. Jesus. Here it is.
Oh, and you read about um how how the hospital would take the masks that people wear
Yeah.
from the hospital, like from actual
Yeah.
coronavirus infected patients,
Yeah.
and they would take their masks and they just like wash them with soap and resell them. So then infinity more people got fucked. Stupid. I swear that looks like a Gooby Dolan, Gooby Please skit.
Number one driver confirmed.
Yeah, exactly. Look, can you imagine like the stupidity you have to have? It's like, oh yeah, just wash it and then they'll sell it again. And that way we have a nice circulation, constant market. We will be rich, boys. Suddenly, infinity people have coronavirus. That's next level.
Ah, it's bullshit. That's bullshit. But I mean, I don't know. It's possible this thing like look, it's developed in a way because it can now survive in 35 different countries, and that's like I don't know what is that like four different biomes.
All
Six.
this is doing, since we're still so fucking primitive as a human species, all it's doing is creating groups of people with their ideas about it and hate towards the other groups. So you got the rich people who are like, fucking barbarian Chinese. All they do is eat shit and other shit and then they cause deaths. I hate Chinese.
It's yeah.
And Trump is like, yeah, this is perfect. I want my white folks to hate China. China's shit. And so they're all happy. And then you have all the Chinese people who are like, what the fuck? What's happening? And then you have the people in the stock market who are like, oh shit, fucking gotta buy, corn and ammunition. and stock up on that. So then you got the fucking people who sell
Why
corn are all
corn?
like,
Why
like
corn?
fucking hey mate, good harvest this time. You just have all these stupid groups, and then you have the fucking religious people who are like, "I told you, the prophecy's coming true. I read it in some fucking book long time ago. It said that this is gonna happen, and there it is. Jesus, good Lord, come save us all. Apocalypse now." Right? And they're like, "Fucking, I told you." And then somebody's taking out pitchforks saying, "Fuck you, religious people." So basically, this is gonna fuck Earth on a social level. It's gonna be good.
It's too good.
And then you have the people who fucking resell the masks of patients. That tops it. That tops it. I have business idea, boys. Holy shit, that's next level. I bet they all got the coronavirus from doing it too. Oh god.
The
And
prophecy's happening.
and all the journalists are like, "Fuck yeah, so many clickbait articles." Fucking getting my bonus early this year.
There's, there's some level of truth to this. There's
Yeah,
some level.
everyone's bored, so they gotta sensationalize shit. We don't have the gladiator ring like they had in Rome. So people are like, I want to see death, I'm bored. Corona comes, they're like, yeah, fuck you. Fucking people.
Well, it's some truth to it.
You
I
have
get
all this
it's
conspiracy,
creates some.
like the mind just goes wild, man. Like all these conspiracists crawl out of God knows what cockroach hole, fucking coming up with theories. Oh, it was armadillo, it was bat, it was snake. Oh, the government designed it in the Nevada. They're coalitioning with America. Oh no, like fucking endless stories, right? And it's just gonna go
Yeah,
and
yeah.
go and go until it becomes norm. Until coronavirus is boring. Like when it becomes like a overused buzz term, then it's gonna be like, yeah, yeah. What do you got? I
S-
got the
s-
coronavirus.
So,
Ah, okay,
at
tough
this
one.
so at this given point in time, it's all just clickbait. All
Yeah,
right.
that's the worst right now. Like, literally, the worst time to read about something is when it's happening.
Yeah.
Because like you're gonna have to go through so like you're either gonna have to have a really good filter in your brain, and like put in a lot of effort, or you're just gonna like kill yourself from just constant contradiction from left and right.
Well,
What's the point? It's not like there's any actual sources for information.
it's working really well. It's creating a lot of in-group bias. People are like,
Yeah.
you're not one of us now.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. Just give it nothing like a good conspiracy, global conspiracy thing to
Makes
divide
a
people up.
really good. What is it? Is it Stephen King? Yeah, makes a perfect Stephen King book right now.
Oh, I don't know
Is it?
Stephen King books.
No,
I know The Shining. I don't know how
is
The
that a
Shining
Stephen
relates
King? I
to
don't know.
coronavirus.
Is that who I'm talking about? Stephen King? Is that the guy that does the really creepy books? Hold on, I wrote
Yes.
Stephen What the fuck? Stephen. Oh shit. What's off with my typing today? I feel like I'm drunk. Stephen King. Yes. Oh, and it's Stephen King. I wrote it with a V. Oh fuck, I hate English language. Yeah, that's the guy. The Shining, The Outsider, Doctor Sleep, Misery. Uh, there's a bunch of stuff. The
His
Mist.
books have lots of words in them.
Oh,
When I
what?
see words, I run away.
Yeah, well, fair enough. What the fuck? He did Shawshank Redemption? He did that? Dude,
Didn't know that.
no, I didn't know that. The thing is that it's too good of a movie for me to believe that he made it, just because his other movies were meh. What is it? There was
What,
an.
you didn't like The Shining?
Oh, no, I like The Shining. What was there was one of them is called like Fog or something. Fog
And
movie.
then there was also,
Is it?
um,
Yeah, The Fog. The Fog. Oh, but that's not Stephen King.
there was one with
That was
Jodie Foster
Jodie
and the cannibal.
Jodie Foster, the cannibal. Let's see. Fuck whatever. The Silence of the Lambs.
Yeah, is that also Stephen King?
Um, no. Jonathan Demme. Jonathan Demme. Uh,
What?
I don't know. It's got Anthony Hopkins in it. Fuck, he sounds familiar. Is that who I think it is?
Yeah, that's why I said the cannibal.
Oh, there's Hannibal. He's in Hannibal.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Not yeah, okay, yeah.
It's the same shit. He eats people.
Wait, in Hannibal he eats people, and then the Silence of the Lambs he eats people. Cause
Silence of the Lambs, he doesn't eat people. He
hold on,
just likes
hold
to
on.
kill
Here,
people.
here it is. A young FBI cadet must receive the help of an incarcerated and manipulative cannibal killer to help catch another serial killer, a madman who skins his victims. Hmm. That's that's quite the movie. Hannibal. Living
He
in
skins them
exile.
and wears them
Uh,
as coats.
yeah, here. What is it here? Tries to reconnect with now disgraced FBI. What's with like fucking this guy? He's always in FBI movies. And finds himself a target for revenge from powerful victim. Okay,
He's
I don't know.
slowly been making his way to become the CSI Miami guy with glasses, but they never gave him the chance. The one that goes,
Oh
yeah.
man, this guy's old. 1937. Okay, this guy is old. He's probably not gonna make it to making a CSI type of character. I don't think. Although he is making two movies right now, and he released one recently. So there's the Virtuoso and Elise or Ellis. What's with me today? I can't even read. But those are being produced, or I guess they're done post production. What does that say?
What
Post.
is?
Uh, that guy who's in the Hannibal, whatever the hell his name is. What's his name? Damn it.
I always forget.
Anthony Hopkins. Yeah, that guy. So he's in two movies are finished now, but he's in one movie that came out this year. It's called The Father, 2020. Apparently he was rated pretty high. Okay, man refuses all assistance from his daughter as he ages. As he tries to make sense of his changing circumstances, what is it? He begins to doubt his loved ones, his own mind, and even the fabric of reality. Oh shit, that sounds like a you movie. Denying the fabric of reality, right there. Mm.
I don't deny it.
What do you mean?
I mean,
You've you've
you
always
need to
denied
be,
it.
you need to know
Uh,
reality in order to deny it. How can I deny something I don't know?
Wait, what? Repeat that again. You fucked my mind.
What's reality?
That's a wow. Okay, so reality. That's just a
Is that
perception.
that's a subjective?
It's a perception.
It's a subjective thing, though.
Yes, yes, yes.
So then, if it's subjective, denying it would be like denying my subjective perception. But I can't deny it because I am the
Oh, wait, but
perception.
hold on a second. Reality isn't necessarily all like subjective, right?
Yes, it is.
What are you talking about?
Well, if I'm the only person existing,
Okay.
and then and I say that exists, there's no one to challenge me. Then it exists.
Okay, so fine. Well, okay, that's like saying, okay, yo, there's like 1,000 barrels of oil right now underneath my house. It either is true or it isn't, right?
Well,
Now,
no, because I'm actually seeing something, and I say that exists because my senses tell me it does.
oh, okay,
And then
sure.
if I come up to it and I touch it and my hand goes through it, I'll be like, no, I'm not so sure it
No, but
exists.
reality doesn't necessarily have to be you saw something. It could just be like,
Yeah, but that's the only way that it's meaningful.
okay, well,
If
okay.
there's nobody to observe, uh, it's like if a tree falls, yeah, unless there's someone to hear the sound, the tree didn't make any sound when it fell.
Yeah, yeah. So then, so then, what's this going back to denying reality? How the fuck does
So
that work?
reality is a subjective perception by me that other people also tend to agree on, but that doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Um, so then, if I deny my perception, that's a contradictory statement. I am the perception, so I'm denying myself, and denying means uh, saying that it is not.
Yeah.
And then if I say I am not, all I'm doing is I'm playing a funny game with myself called cat and mouse, like catch the tail, because I'm going, I am not. Whoa, I just said I am not. That means I am. But I'm not. Oh, I just said I'm not. But that means I am. I'm not. Whoa, I just said I'm not. That means I am. and off we go.
I think I think the 2 a.m. philosophy talk fucked with your head. How the fuck
Oh,
did you
yeah,
come up with that? Yeah.
that's pretty neat.
What the fuck, man? Okay, so then this guy's saying he denies his own mind and even the fabric of reality. So,
Oh, okay. So he broke all foundation, and then he has nowhere to lean on. So he doesn't know what anything is because everything is relative to everything else, but everything else is relative to it. So then there's no established foundation, and then everything just floats around like an entropy.
okay, so then what about this whole coronavirus in reality? So if I
Well,
don't see the coronavirus, I can't see it.
is seeing the only legitimate measurement?
Well, they're okay, look. Someone gets infected, they're like spazzing and like shit hits the fan. And they're like,
Yeah,
"Hey,
so you know there is spazzing occurring and shit hitting the fan,
all right."
and then you can like poke and prod until the shitting stops. You can call it whatever you want. The end result is shitting. You could call it corona, the flu, who cares?
Yeah, but
That's up to you to classify.
that's what I'm saying. It could be anything. You know, I can't see that
Yeah.
it's the coronavirus. They're
I
like,
mean
"Hey,
I mean everything is just a pattern. So how good are you detecting certain patterns? Coronavirus is a pretty tiny pattern, so we need special tools to detect that
so
pattern.
then why should I trust some like like some like schmuck scientist?" And he's like, "Hey, look, this is called the coronavirus." I'm just like, hmm. How do I know that's like coronavirus? How do I even know that this is some new virus? How do I know that this is a
Well,
virus? What
that
what if like
depends
what if this guy's like
on
just like defrauding the petri dish and he's just like, here you go. And he like made some like dank like cell. He like shaped a cell with his little like microscopic tweezers or whatever the fuck, with his big microscope there.
yep.
And he just made a cell look like some fucked up thing and he's just like, look world, it's a coronavirus.
Yeah, just like when they found a dildo in a forest and thought it was a new species of mushroom in China.
What? Are you serious?
You don't know this?
No?
They found a sex toy buried in the ground, and then they're like, go, 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 tell the whole news agency over town. Then they made a huge newspaper article about it, and they interviewed who found it, when they found it, what's their family history. They were all this shit. And then they're like, let's pull the mushroom out, and they pull it out. It's a huge dildo.
Link article now.
Well, I don't remember.
Mm,
I'll try to
It's
find it.
on China. What is it? Mushroom dildo?
Yeah, try that. Yeah, it's good. I still can't tell if this was a troll. That's good. I love it, like they have the whole reporter and the whole everything.
Newly discovered Chinese mushroom
I,
turd
I,
in
won-
space.
I wonder when they found out. Either when one of them tried to bite it, or when the hobo that left it there a couple days ago came by, took it, and swapped it on his dick. I'll take that, boys. Keep filming whatever you're filming, but that's my toy. I'm
Dude,
just gonna go now.
oh the shit, they're legit. They're not kidding. This is actually like a Look at this. It has an eye and a
Yeah.
nose, but we don't know what it is. One of the villagers tells the Chinese reporter. But this was no miraculous mushroom. Several
Uh,
viewers pointed out the mysterious object was actually an artificial
you
vajayjay.
should watch the video. They're like measuring it with a ruler.
Here's the best part. So like, you know, how they say ignorance is horrible is bliss. Yeah.
Yeah.
Here they say ignorance is horrible. How can the reporter mistake a sex toy for a fungus? Uh,
Yeah.
this is perfect. But Kotaku insists it could have been what is this? It couldn't have been all the reporters' faults. The reporters most certainly had a crew, an editor, a producer, and others involved in the story. This was not a rogue sex toy confusion. say is like this guy had a whole team, a
I wonder who
crew,
got to
an
keep the
editor,
mushroom.
a producer.
That's what I want to know. Unless it's like in their
Right.
village museum on display.
This is too good. This is too good.
They're just like the reporter realized it, but then they saw how it like brought such good vibes to the village. So like, don't tell them. Just just don't tell them. Let's leave this place.
到了六村补村民打来的热线电话，说他们在打井打到地下近百里面打
I'm
井的
watching
时
the
候呢，
video.
是的
Oh
老大
my
爷
god, bro. Are you serious?
蘑菇头
I
的
mean, I
形状，
understand why
上
they
面
would
呢
think
是
it's a
的，我们
mushroom,
用尺子呢也
because
大
like
概量了一
it,
下，
This is
it it's
horrible.
it's
This
certainly
is
too big of a
horrible.
fleshlight for a typical Chinese man, so they would never think that it's used that way, right?
Wow. Just wow.
Yeah.
Just wow.
Anyway, we digress. What was the original topic that led to this? I don't remember now. Oh well.
I don't know, but you diverted me like, hey, it's like that one time they mistaken a mushroom for yeah.
Yeah, we were talking about somebody interpreting something. Oh yeah,
Fuck.
reality.
Oh yeah, reality.
Yeah. See, it's. Oh, then you said
That
something.
was too good. That was too good.
Anyway, basically, things just are. Okay?
Yeah, they just are.
Things? Sorry, no, things. Things are things. Okay? If you can think it, it's a thing. And unfortunately, that's why things are shit.
Oh, they always
Because
are. They
because
always
it's
are.
they all come from things. In fact, in German, Tinke and Tinga or whatever, they're the same thing. In Italian, I think, and in Latin, the root of the word thing is think. Essentially, it's the same shenanigan. And basically, things
Yeah.
are.
Are what?
They are.
They
They
are.
be.
They
They
be.
be happening.
They be happening?
Yeah. Everything just be happening. And then humans come along, the consciousness comes along, you know, and it tries to put the be, the itness, the happeningness, it tries to put it in these little grids of its
Yeah.
brain. And each little grid is called a think. Okay, and then we give it names, and it's now a thing. And then we talk about how, X thing works with the Y thing. And we're just talking about coarsely outlined cells in a grid interacting with each other. And then many years go by, and we confuse. We flip the whole thing around, and we think that what we say, the words that we say, have meaning.
That was fucking deep.
Yeah, but they don't have meaning. The references, coarse references to things, meaning to things, meaning to uh, concepts, ideas that our brain creates about what we sense.
How'd
And
you
then we go around saying that that's reality,
how'd
which
you
is like a Lamau.
how'd you come up with that one, Chief?
Brain logic.
Wait. Just backpedal for a second. Are you insinuating that you have a brain? It's like let's just start with that.
Well,
You have a brain? Like since when?
yes.
Like what the fuck happened?
You know, I've always had a brain.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
And by always, I mean right now I have a brain because time doesn't exist.
Sure it does. It's 212.
Yeah, that's just the scale tells you that. It's a scale that moves forward all the time.
Yeah, it's a scale of something that exists. It's kind of like you create a scale, you put weight on it, and they're like, hey, look, weight exists. There is gravity, and it is
Yeah,
exerting force on the scale.
we have a
Therefore,
thing that goes in a circle that ticks, 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 and we
yeah,
say that's time. But see, that's the thing is it's not. It's just a thing that ticks.
So if someone, let me get this right.
There's no time
If someone
dimension.
says you have to come to the office every morning 8 and you leave at 4. Let me guess. This is you probably telling them. That's a pretty fucked up scale. Are you an imperial or a metric system? Because my scale's different. I come in at like 12 and I leave at 7.
Kind of.
All right. Fair enough.
And then, well, that gets into a whole complicated set of relationships between my
This article's too good. Sorry, go ahead. Yes.
no, it's
Oh,
too much. See, here's the problem.
yeah.
Language is a very shit medium to express stuff. Words are really shit. Like, if I could just transfer my feeling and thought to you, and then you'd be like, oh, okay. But instead, to expand this, I'm gonna have to write a book.
Jeez. Eh.
That's why talking is really shit.
Why don't you actually try and write a book, like on a Word document, and then make it into a PDF? I'd actually kind of read it.
Yeah, but
Would you
it,
actually?
it needs the medium of delivery is words, and words can be interpreted in different ways. So what's the point of? They're like, okay, we need you to draw a very, very small triangle,
Yeah.
and like, here's a 2 meter pencil,
Right.
and then by 2 meter I mean the lead. You know, I have 2 millimeter. This is 2 meter lead. And they're
Okay.
like, yeah, just go ahead and draw a triangle that's size of an atom.
Okay.
So then I just place my pencil on the pen, on the paper.
Yeah.
You have a 2 meter dot,
Yeah.
and then I go, I did my best. And they go, it's 2 meters. We asked for an atom. I said, yeah, but you gave me a 2 meter pencil. And they go, no, just keep trying. And you go, but no, it's not gonna work. 2 meters. So that's what it feels like. Like that's what I picture trying to write a book. Okay, the words and the language is too coarse. Anything you try to explain will be shit.
Yeah, but it's like it's almost like contradictory because the word like hold on. The words that you learned, right? The language you speak, all that. I mean, it was taught, it was written, like all this shit. So basically, you're saying, why are you even talking? It's all
Well,
it's
it's all
meaningless.
shit
Yeah,
because
it's left up.
words. You make a word, right?
Yeah,
How do you define a word? Well, you need other words to define the word.
that would
So
be
then, what words are you gonna use to
that
define
would
those
be
words?
what is it called? Just say, hold on a sec. It's a fuck. I'm thinking of the word right now. It's
Recursive,
no, it starts with an L.
a
Something
loop,
lacustic definition or something.
self-referential,
No, it's
lexicographic,
no. You know when you say it is the definition word, meaning of a word.
a tautology.
No, latastic definition or something like that. I don't know. Let me Google it and see if it comes up. No, latast. No. Um, when a word is the dictionary definition of a word. Um, Fuck, this is gonna annoy me. Like I need to
Well, I'm
I need
eagerly
to
waiting for the
I
answer.
need to
I want
fucking
to
find
know.
it. Shit.
Can you define it again?
Yeah, it's when a word. Um, the definition of a word is basically the dictionary meaning of the word and not something else. Um,
So literal?
no, not literal. Here, let me try and see. There's like a philosophy class that I took before, and they have it in
I
there.
mean, what other definition do you have other than the dictionary definition?
I'll tell you.
There's slang and then there's literal.
Here, I'll tell you. Defin. Oh shit. Office is updated. I don't care. Definition. Come on, Office. Stop fucking around. Definition. Fuck. Why can I not control find? Bro, what the fuck? Maybe here. There's like some like notes. Definition. Fuck. It's gonna annoy me. Definite. I can't even type right now because it's dark. Lexical. Lexical. There we go. Lexical.
But I said that
Lexical.
word.
Thank you. Did you say lexical?
Yes.
Oh shit.
I
Okay.
said lexicographical, something along the
Okay,
line.
fine.
But it
Fine,
was, you
lexicographical.
should have sprung your bell. You should have rung your bell.
Yeah. Analytical, stipulative definitions, what is it? Precising, rhetorical, I don't know, ostensive, all this shit. But yeah, that's for another day.
I mean, lexicon is the culmination of words that you know.
Yeah.
But essentially words are really shit, of course. And like I was saying, it's a good old double bind, because words always need words to define them. So what words are gonna define those words?
Fucking. Yeah.
So then you have this problem where you actually never actually said anything, because when you said a word, you actually used another word to define it, but that word is defined by another word. So you never actually defined anything.